stayed. It's only over when the day is done. I never knew you was a runner, yeah. I mistook you for a son. It don't matter what we think when it's all over. 'Cause this is our last chance to leave it all behind. Raise your voice and raise your power, yeah. This is our last chance to leave it all behind. Raise your voice and raise your power, yeah.
Archie, is it fun?
Fun.
Fun.
After me. Ready? Happy?
Happy.
New?
New?
New.
Was wrong to say I wouldn't change a thing, 'cause in the story of our lives, the best of times through color glass, time moves on enough to let me move on past, but every little now and then it creeps on back to shape my smile.
Today is December 6, 2025. It is 3:50 a.m. This is video number 2. This is the background. I have a lot to share with you, and I need to finish edit whatever I recorded yesterday. So I'm in a hurry to at least record whatever I have on the list tonight. And whenever I get to them, I get to them. It's gonna be a lot. There might be part 1, part 2, part 3. I don't know. I'm just gonna record. Alright, so the background. This is for record purposes. New subscribers, welcome. 2,800 views in the last 48 hours. Let's go on Twitter. Alright, so we're starting with this. I see some are back to why is she seen when she wanted privacy. Excuse me? With love, Meghan. I don't know. They keep on bringing it every now and then. Sometimes I read it under other tweets where, oh, she wanted privacy while she's out. I mean, she has to make a living. Okay, so there's me responded here 19 hours ago. Some people have short-term memory or selective memory or shit show memory. Meghan Markle literally told them it wasn't her who said anything about privacy. The Rangers insist so. Their dimension of reality is nowhere here on Earth. All right, so let's go into that. I was the only one who responded back in 2021. We're just gonna focus on the video because these are old. Okay, these are old. Meghan on privacy. So it's about boundaries and it's about respect. 1 minute and 26 seconds screenshots, okay? Due to copyright.
Was there no expectation that you shouldn't you have an expectation that you're going to have to lose privacy?
Well, it's two things here.
That's part of the deal.
Two things here. I think everyone has a basic right to privacy. Basic, right? And we're not talking about anything that anybody else wouldn't expect. So if you're at work and you have a photograph of your child on your desk and your coworker says, "Oh my gosh, your kid's so cute. That's fantastic. Can I see your phone so I can see all the pictures of your child?" You go, "No, this is the picture I'm comfortable sharing with you." And then if they double down and say, "No, but you already showed me that one, so you have to show me everything." You know what? I'm just going to hire someone to sit in front of your house or hide in the bushes and take pictures into your backyard because you've lost your right to privacy because you shared one image with me. That's sort of the flawed argument and its operating mechanism that they're confusing people to think. I think life is about being able to share our stories and share parts of our lives that you're comfortable with.
This part, when she says that part, every time I think about it, and I feel like the UK really F up really badly because I feel like she would have shared so much with us, but the tabloid refused to give them space to enjoy their reality. The tabloid wanted to be part of their reality as Harry and Meghan living their life, doing their thing. Probably even when they're creating Little Beth, they probably will want to be there. I mean, these people, I mean, that's freaking crazy, but Harry and Meghan, especially Harry, have been saying from the moment I started looking into them, he wanted that privacy. Okay, there's the public life and there's the private life, but they refuse to differentiate the part. For Harry, the institution mix it all up. So it's like Harry have no say. Harry has no boundary. You could do whatever you want with Harry. It seems like.
Yes, the Express this morning is reporting, as other papers are, the latest trailer from the new section of Harry and Meghan's Netflix documentaries, where he's said that they, whoever they is, but it's the palace of the media, wouldn't tell the truth to protect us, but they would do to protect William. Well, I mean, I'm pretty fed up with Harry and Meghan, to be honest with you, and I think most people are, and, they need to just go away and live their lives. However, having said that, there is probably some truth in that, in the sense that the palace in particular was very keen to make sure that the heir to the throne was protected, and Harry could be sacrificed if necessary. And actually, when I was working, I shouldn't give the name of the paper, but I was doing a piece for one of the Nationals, writing a piece, and I was told, because I'm quite critical of the monarchy in many ways, I was told I could say what I want about Harry and Meghan, but I had to lay off William and Kate. That was the instruction from the editor. So I think there was an element of truth in what he says.
But Harry keep on insisting, yes, there has to be a boundary. When I'm out there promoting the institution, doing work for the royal family, take as many pictures as you want. But when I'm at my own time, so to speak, privately hanging out with his friend, doing his thing, stay the F away from him. That's the way that I see it. But they refuse to do that. And they want him to be in a certain state of mind so they could write about it to trash him. All right, but let's continue.
There's no one who's on Instagram or social media that would say, because I shared this one picture, that entitles you to have my entire camera roll. Go ahead and look through it. No one would want that. So it's about boundaries and it's about respect. They've created a false narrative. I've never talked about privacy. I think that's just a basic understanding.
All right, so that's that. This is all. I'm not going to go in the comment. The reason I think I put it first is because of the Netflix series, okay? What was it? Love with Meghan. I think that's what it is. With Love, Meghan. The derangers are coming. She wanted privacy. There it is here. The squad dug it up and said she never talked about privacy. It was Piers Morgan who put it out there.
If you want to be private, go back to America and live privately. It's pretty straightforward.
This is why the Oprah interview was necessary. This is one of many reasons why the Oprah interview was necessary, to clear things up, because the institution, the media in the UK was confusing people. They're creating a narrative about her and insist this is the way you must see her. This is the way we're writing her story and you must accept it. And Harry and Meghan are saying, no, that's not who I am. Okay?
Write about my girlfriend with the same techniques that they've written about previous women marrying into or in relationships with members of my family. And they're coming in almost with a blank slate, and it gives the British press an opportunity to cast them in a particular role. And when Meghan came into the fold, they tried to do that to her as well. But she was coming into a relationship with me in her mid-30s. She had a very public career of which millions of people knew who she was because they'd been following her. But this time, fans and people that knew Meghan were pushing back and saying, that's categorically false. You can't say that based on the fact that we know who she is. It was
so that's that. And then they use that for them speaking out to defend themselves as if they're attacking the royal family. They refuse to leave them alone. So they have to keep on, well, they stop. They just ignore them. But they're letting people know who they are. Okay, that interview that when she showed at Ellen, okay, is to show people the other side of her. She's funny, she's silly, she could do things and things like that, so people could see her in a different way because the institute. That's my perception of it. Okay, I don't know her full reason. Maybe she did say it in the show. I don't remember, but I feel like it's to show other side of her because the tabloid in the UK was painting a negative image of her for the world to see. This is how she is and this is the way you should accept her. And Meghan is saying, no, that's not me. This is who I am. I could be funny. I could do silly stuff. I could be serious. I could do, $1 million deals and things like that. So they insist this is who they, meaning the institution, force feeding you. This is the way you're supposed to see her. And both of them, Harry and Meghan, are saying no. Next tweet. All right, let's pause this. I think I shared this in one of my recent videos. Okay. The hatred that Meghan Markle faces from white women needs to be studied. It has to be a mental illness to be this obsessed and unhinged. That her very existence has these unstable women pissed. Meghan stays protecting her family and her peace, and I can't blame her. Alright, so let's see this one. Okay, so that's a screenshot. Okay, that's from New York Post, and I believe that's one of Murdoch papers. Yeah, I had to look it up. Sometimes I get confused with Washington Post and New York Post. All right, so it's owned by News Corp, and in 1976, Rupert Murdoch's News Corp bought the Post. All right, you could pause and read the rest. Let's go back to this. Okay, Meghan Markle's at-home cooking show was filmed inside a luxe $8 million mansion that isn't even her own. So who cares? Who cares? We don't even know. Alright, former actress Meghan Markle is inviting Netflix viewers at home with her upcoming cooking and lifestyle series with Love Meghan, but there is a catch. The home isn't hers. Instead of showcasing her $14.65 million Montecito mansion, Markle 43 film series at $8 million. They have to put the price. Oh my God, they're bringing this nonsense here, where everything is a tag. What do you call this? Tag price. Okay, why control freaks Meghan Markle has turned off Instagram comment? Well, the title itself, this is one of the reasons. If she doesn't control her mental well-being, who's going to do it? Because you guys keep on poking, insisting for her to take the abuse. So she's putting a line and said, no, you could watch, but you don't have to comment. I don't want to hear what you have to say. And this is why these people have all this nonsense to write. Okay, Meghan Markle accused of trying to control the narrative with her Instagram. And if she doesn't control it, who's going to control it for? Like I was just saying, why the Oprah interview was necessary. Because everybody wants her to be something that she's not. Oh my God. All right, so there's another thing here.
Meghan Markle series on Netflix.
I shared this already, but for the sake of this video, I'll play it again.
The Meghan Markle series on Netflix is going to be pretty boring, and we're probably not going to get a season 2.
Why's that?
The thing with Meghan is she doesn't want to show her edgier side. We see the sweet side of Meghan. We've seen the sweet side in past interviews.
Okay.
We know that she wants to present herself a certain way, which is totally fine.
As she should.
But we need to see the real side of Meghan Markle. And I'm not saying like some evil, bad side of her.
She's showing you who she is, but you refuse to accept it. But yet you accepting the lies the tabloid are saying about her. I mean, these people, yeah, they need to be studied. They need to be studied. The woman is literally telling them who she is, but they're not accepting it. What the hell?
We just need a little more edge.
You said you want to see the real Meghan. Who's to say that you haven't? You don't believe that people can be genuinely nice? Or
That's
you don't
it.
believe that she can genuinely be nice? My issue is the sense of entitlement that some people feel towards her. You felt entitled to know more about her. You felt entitled to see her children. You felt entitled for her to do this or to do that. You want her to perform for you. And you get mad at her when she doesn't want to do it. There is nothing that she could ever do or say that make those people like her.
And also, that mentality that they have, where they can't seem to accept reality when she's literally telling them who she is because of our history. Those people, white men, create this narrative, angry black women, this, whatever, all the negativity that they associate with black people. So this is what they expect to see. And then if she was that, which she's not, they'll be screaming, oh my God, why is she screaming? Why is she this? Why is she that? But it was never in her nature to be that. She's literally letting people know who she is. Her friends, okay? People who know her behind the scene, not in front of camera, is letting people know who she is. But you people, some of these crazy-minded people refuse to accept that. So this is one of the reasons she has to black her thing. You want to watch her videos on Netflix or on IG or whatever, feel free, but she doesn't want to hear you because you guys are delusional. Let's continue. But she has that Twitter, that TikToker right here, she has a good response to that video.
Because they don't think that she's deserving of a prince like Harry. If she's playful and cracks jokes, you're going to say she's so unserious. How can Harry be with someone so unserious? If she gets angry or upset, you're going to say she seems unhinged. How can Harry be with someone who's unhinged? Maybe she's not interested in trying to change the minds of people who are dedicated to misunderstanding her. Just because she appeared to have a storybook romance doesn't mean she's a character in a story. She can decide for herself how much or how little she wants to share with any of you. And the way you guys have tore her apart for the little that she does show, I don't blame her. You don't like her, but you got to keep up with her because you're always looking for a reason to justify not liking her. That's why you're going to hate watch that Netflix documentary. You've never seen Kate Middleton angry, and that's okay. You're not expecting her to be a stereotypical angry black woman, are you?
All right, so let's go to
Meghan Markle, I will not be watching your cooking show. You look like you haven't eaten in 5 years.
Meghan Markle.
That's a healthy skinny. Thank God sometime when I see those red carpet body of hers, and I usually point it out, she work out. And I've even said, okay, for someone who loves to eat, if you don't work out and get rid of those calories that you put in, okay, food is energy. Because if you don't burn them out, they're going to accumulate to become fat. So she work it out. Oh my goodness, these people are delusional. Let's start all over.
Meghan Markle, I will not be watching your cooking show. You look like you haven't eaten in 5 years.
Meghan Markle haters, I got time for you today. I got time for you today. Y'all came from under the crevices you crawled from, and I don't like bullies. So let's start with you. You said that Meghan Markle is on Ozempic. Maybe you should be on Ozempic the way you only show yourself from here up, okay? Everybody knows Meghan's been skinny her whole life, majority of her life. Maybe not when she was a kid, it's called baby fat. But she's been skinny. She didn't all of a sudden get skinny. You literally pulled that out of thin air. Boring. And you go on to say Meghan's show is about me. It's a show about Meghan. Who else is it supposed to be about? And you say you're not envious, yet here we are, spending your time talking about somebody else. Sounds like you wish you had a life people cared about. What is your name again? For you to flap your gums and call Meghan Markle the Dollar Tree version of Oprah Winfrey?
Oh, did they?
Girl, I almost lost my mind. And who are you again? Who are you? Nobody. Sounds a little racist just to compare one black person to another black person. Out of all the people in the world, you could only choose to compare Meghan Markle to Oprah? And you go on to say, isn't there more important things she should talk about in America? But with your accent, it looks like you don't mind your own business either. What are you doing with a hat that says Make America Great Again and you ain't even from America? Sounds like you need to stay out of America business.
And the other thing as well, saying that Meghan is not talking about important things. For those who are new, I have another channel, Our Port of Pure Service. This is where I highlight all of their, well, majority, let's just say majority of their work. And I need to do a review of the last year things that they did. I better get to it fast before the Netflix show start, because I'm going to be busy with that, because there's a lot of things that they did. All right. This is the diversification of Harry and Meghan. They could do many things. All right. Look at Harry, Travelers, Invictus, and so many other things that they're doing. They don't, focus on one thing only. Whatever they're interested in, they're passionate about, they go for it. Oh my God. And at the same time, they're helping other people.
I had to look for myself. You call yourself a journalist?
Oh.
All you give is your opinion. Journalist, I went to school for broadcast journalism. You're supposed to state facts. And all you do is give your opinion. Doesn't sound like a journalist to me. So therefore, mind your business, meaning I'm not done. There's more of you out there. About Meghan Markle.
She's not done. There's more of you out there until she finds them. Then she'll do a video about, how could this be a journalist? Oh my God. Next one. All right, so that's images of that. All right. And the other thing as well, when, okay, there's no comment. We're going to go to the next one. Let's pause this. Meghan and Harry, because they are so into many things, what they do, when there are other organizations that's doing things that they are interested in, guess what? They don't recreate the wheels. Okay, start all over to say, oh, this is me, I'm doing this. What do? They support those organizations that doing things that they would like to do, but they just don't have time. That's the way that I put it. Like, well, Central Kitchen, what else? Go on my PYTE. No, not PYTE. Our Port of Pure Service. There's some, some charities that I've highlighted of things that they all support. Homeboy Industry. What else? I had to go on my thing. There's about 45, well, let's say 40 plus of organization and charities that they're supporting. Okay, can you imagine them doing all of this on their own? Now, if other people are already doing them, why not support them? Scotty Little Soldiers, Well Child, that's heavy stuff. Some of them back in the UK. Okay, URL Media, Girls Inc., CC Care, Genesis Women, so many. Okay, they're helping others. They help them whichever way they can. And what's that other? Okay, so these are some of those charities and different things that I've already highlighted. Okay, Kaboom, for instance. Okay, Homeboy Industry, Baby to Baby, Female Camp Fed. Okay, I have 2 videos on that. So Harry and Meghan are almost everywhere, wherever they could help. And what else did they just did for with Archwell for families and things like that? So they're doing their thing. So these people just want to talk trash. So for those who are new, go on Our Port of Pure Service. I have some videos that already highlight some of those charities that they support. I need to do more. As you can see, I will not have time. That was like last year or the year before, and all last year passed and I wasn't able to do it. And now they're gonna have their show on Netflix, and every day I'm talking about things like that. All right, next tweet. Truer words have never been spoken. All right, let's see here. I believe this lady, Meghan, had traveled to New York to support her in Long Island, Montauk, I believe, over the summer. But let's listen to this. Wow, this is 1 minute and 52 seconds.
You once said, Trent Shelton, and I will never forget this. I think about this all the time. You said, haters are just confused supporters. Haters are just confused supporters.
For
Can
sure.
you explain that? It's so good. So good.
Yeah, so number one, like, if you don't want to be hated on, you know, and there's a beautiful quote, I'm butchering it, but, you know, say nothing, be nothing, do nothing. If you don't want any type of judgment or anything. So at least I look at somebody hating on you as you're getting attention. And you have to understand this. Like, some people aren't haters, they're confused supporters. And what I mean by this, when you look at the word hate, it's such a strong word, but you don't pay attention to things that you hate. Certain foods like ranch dressing, I don't pay attention to ranch because I hate it. When I'm in the salad bar line, I don't even look at the ranch, right? Because I hate it. You don't pay attention to things that you hate. So if somebody is following your page, if somebody knows your every move, if somebody is making up a fake profile, right, after you block one profile, that is not hate. That's admiration. They just have pride and ego. So it might be a little bit of jealousy and envy there, but actually, they really support you. And in these days, I would just tell you this. If somebody's hating on you, let it be. Maybe you restrict them on Instagram, but they're adding to your engagement. They're actually helping you. So the more you get out of, oh, this is about me, and stop taking it personal, it's a them thing. I've never met a happy hater. Have you? I've never met somebody who is happy with their life and loving their life, worried about somebody else and what they're doing. So just understand that paying you attention, at least you're doing something that's worth attention. So keep doing it.
Wow, very interesting. And this is a very nice way of putting it. But I remember before I started talking about Harry and Meghan type of things, when I listened to Tina and Michelle and stuff like that, they used to say, hey, keep on, the haters are pretty much putting traction into their videos. But anyway, perfect. So proud of you. There's that. That's an ad. Okay, exactly. I never follow an account about someone I don't like and follow their every move. I block them instead. Me neither. You see, I don't even follow the left behinders. What's the point? If they have something to share that I could learn from, you definitely will see me following. Look at it. I almost skipped one. Okay. The other day, sometime last year, I follow what's Harry's cousin, the one who does art or whatever, and I went onto her IG. I forgot what the discussion was, and I went on it and I watched a couple videos, and I was like, oh, she knows what she's talking about. It makes sense, and this and that, and I follow her. But I haven't had time to go on her page to see things, you know. I follow Meghan instantly, and I will comment on some of the squad posts and things like that. But anyway, next tweet. This one does not have any comment. Even if you're not a fan, of which I am, of Meghan and Harry, this relentless bullying and demeaning of two human beings is beyond shameful. Whatever accusation they've said, by all means use your words and counter their arguments. Just hatchet men climbing out of cesspool. Okay, what is this about? So she retweeted this person, which is a squaddy, Jodiva. We will never let them destroy her. All right, so what is that? Kezo Neil hurt. If you are silent about your pain, they'll kill you and say you enjoy it. All right, let's see this. It's a grotesque game of survival for the monarchy, and Meghan is meant to be the sacrificial lamb, and an institution where image is everything. Harry's rebellion cannot be forgiven. But the thing is that Harry was minding his own business. He brings someone to help the institution. This is the thing. This is the thing I don't understand with these people. It seems like there's something in their brain They literally remove it from their brain and they do not acknowledge it at all, which is what they did to Harry and Meghan. They removed that. They refused to acknowledge what they did to Harry and Meghan because Harry and Meghan was there to help them. Them. Not for Harry and Meghan. Harry is not heir to the throne. So he was giving them a service. And then the tabloid, they know that. And I don't want to go back to the history, my version of history of how Charles became the type of person that he is, and after Princess Diana died and all of that. They trained them to be so selfish and stupid, I guess, and everything should be about them, but they refuse to acknowledge their wrongdoing, their part of the situation. Because if they had left Harry and Meghan alone, Harry and Meghan would have still be there.
So in conclusion, if you'd had the support, you'd still be there.
Without question.
Yeah.
I'm sad that what's happened has happened, but I know and I'm comfortable knowing that we did everything that we could to make it work, and we did everything on the exit process the way that it should have been
with
done.
as much respect.
With as much
and,
respect.
Oh my God, we just did everything we could to protect them.
Which they told Oprah at one point. And then you have the brother, and thank God, Harry did the right thing by going to court and have, this is my term. I don't know if this is the reason why Harry did it, but I feel like by having the review, having the judge to review the process of him leaving, okay, was to have a different set of eyes to see the stupidity that the institution was doing. And don't forget, security was part of the process. He wanted the judge to review the process that the institution did for removing his security because he is the son of the king. And Meghan have told Oprah she doesn't care about her getting security, but for her husband's sake, needed security. Okay? So the process of security, that was one of the main reasons. And out of that, of the process of reviewing why they remove his security, we get to find out so many other things. It was the brother who kicked him out. But the media is not telling you that. The media is making us to believe that it was Harry who decided to leave. Okay? So that way it could be on record. Because it was the brother who hired someone to put it in writing for him, Simon Case. Okay? And it seems like Simon Case know the laws very well, where he framed it in a way where the judge cannot do anything about it because Harry is not heir to the throne. You have the father who's okay with it. You have William who's okay with it. And then you have all the other minors. They don't have a say right now. But the line of succession lead on the side of of William, not Harry. So therefore, the judge had to agree with the people who's going to be taking care of the institution. So as soon as the judge was okay with it and acknowledged it, what else can Harry and Meghan do? Because they both said they were willing to stay. And I just can't believe with the amount of abuse that they were going through, they still were willing to help them. Okay? So that aspect, okay, removing that, their part, okay, the royal family part, and to pushing Harry out, they refuse to acknowledge it. Okay? So they cause their own pain. They, meaning the institution, William, Charles, the institution, they cause themselves whatever pain they're going through right now because they're inflicting unnecessary burden onto Harry. Forget about Meghan for now. Even though whatever Meghan went through, they cause it as well. But for the bloodline, the pain that they cause Harry, the institution, William, Charles, whoever's handling the situation, who give a say to the tabloid, who have the authority to put a stop to it, and they're not doing that. They the one who's causing whatever pain they feel like it's a pain to them. They the one who's causing it on themselves because they want to inflict pain onto Harry and Meghan and Harry have decided to ignore them and block them, okay, from their lives. And then instead, Harry and Meghan are focusing on what they enjoy. So whatever pain the institution, the firm is going through, it's not Harry's problem. Okay? It's the firm problem. They don't want who caused it because Harry and Meghan were willing to support them. Okay? Not for Harry's sake, not for Meghan's sake, for the firm. All the positivity the world was seeing about the institution was because of Harry. And I've said that in past podcasts because since Harry left, you don't see them doing anything significant that will make people like them or cheer for them. Maybe there is. I don't know because I don't follow them. Maybe they are doing things that is pleasant for the people in the UK. I do not know because I don't follow them. But from what I'm seeing from the outside, there's nothing that is attractive for me to follow them, to learn from, or anything like that. So their pain is at their own expense. They don't want who caused it. All right, so let's continue. Okay, in an institution where image is everything, Harry's rebellion cannot be forgiven. His decision to walk away, again, William pushed him out to tell his own story. That's to clear the misconception that they were telling about him. Again, this is part of their brain that they remove because even the royal rats were saying the leaks were coming from the palace.
The press and the media.
That's
and as
true.
they say at the start of episode 1, they say so many books and shows and stories have been written about us. We wanted to have our own say. And remember, the purpose of the PR office at the royal family is to keep the royals in the press all the time. So you have to remember, when I work in newsrooms, it's a fact that every anti-Harry and Meghan story comes from Kensington Palace.
But why
and if it comes from Kensington Palace, why are they briefing against their own grand?
Well, okay, that's a very the idea.
Why are there never any
I think that's
stories
fascinating
about Prince William?
Well, William,
they were leaking against them, so Harry had to set the record straight. Okay, to tell his story, to express his humanity, threaten the very foundation of the royal illusion. Harry didn't target any of that. It's just that they keep on putting things out there about him, and he needs to clear it up. So what do? Should I start all over? Because I keep on interfering in it. All right, let's start all over. It's a grotesque game of survival for the monarchy, and Meghan is meant to be the sacrificial lamb in an institution where image is everything. Harry's rebellion cannot be forgiven. His decision to walk away to tell his own story, to express his humanity, threatens the very foundation of the royal illusion. So what do? They strike at his weakest point, his love for his wife. They realize Harry is unshakable, so they've turned their guns on Meghan, hoping that enough venom spewed her way will eventually silence him. It's a cowardly, disgusting tactic. It makes sense. I agree with that part. But remember, Harry understands the assignment because he's suing the paper. And he knows what his brother has done. Okay? Settle out of court behind his back without knowing, telling him no, but later on find out. Okay? So he knows the assignment. So this is why they stay away. They're not responding back to them. They're trying to trigger them and they're not responding back. Because Harry knows the assignment. He will spill, if once he's ready to talk, guess where it's going to be? In court. Alright, the public should be outraged. The idea that the royal family will stoop so low as to exploit the media to smear someone. Who knows? Maybe after Harry's done with his lawsuit, maybe there might be, Meghan might sue them too. For dragging, smearing her name like that, non-stop. These people, those left behind us, they love problem. It's like every day they get up, they have to think of problem. Defend. They're creating and then whatever. Let's continue. Merely because they feel threatened is revolting. They claim to represent unity, tradition, and moral integrity, yet the way they hang Meghan out to dry is beneath contempt. We're not talking about criticism here. No, what Meghan faces is an onslaught of character assassination so vile it will break most people. That's right. And for what? For standing by her husband, for existing in the royal orbit, for daring to support Harry's decision to break free from the suffocating grip of royal life. Again, all this, I don't know where they got this from. All this is William's fault. All of this is William's fault. Because now we know it's on paper, it's in court. He literally pushed them out. The facade that they're putting for the people to see that, the syndrome, okay, that was a facade, pretending, we're gonna try to talk to him, there's this, okay, make the people, the peasants, believe that they're trying to do something reasonable, try to talk Harry out of things. Meanwhile, they're stirring the pot, telling the tabloid to write BS about him, and then create the facade that we're gonna have a meeting, a syndrome meeting. Meanwhile, they already wrote everything down. This is what we want you to do. Okay, it's three things that they were doing. Three things they were doing in one. One, fool the public. Two, stir the pot, creating unnecessary hardship to Harry and Meghan. And then the third one, they want them out. Okay, all three were happening at the same time. And the main thing is they wanted the public to see something different. Harry grew up in there. He knows how they work. And this is why he went to court and have the review. So it could be in court and be released so people know. Because he did not want to go in public and say what was happening. Let me tell you. If you listen to the speech that he did after the Syndrome Summit, and I think he was doing something for Santa Bali, and he did a speech where he was before he fly to Canada to meet Meghan. He did not blame the institution at all. He actually thanked them. This is the thing. He thanked them for everything, for their support and all of that. Now, one part where I listened to him reading his speech where he said anything negative about his royal family. Because one of the things that he said, our role was to support the institution and things like that, but unfortunately it was impossible. Okay? And then he went on and explained without putting the family down. Okay, I don't know if I'll it's too long. It will be another video by itself. Maybe I'll create a video by itself where you could listen, or go search on YouTube for it.
Prince Harry made his first public remarks tonight since he and his...
I must say that I can only imagine what you may have heard or perhaps read over the past few weeks. So I want you to hear the truth from me, as much as I can share. Not as a prince or a duke, but as Harry, the same person that many of you have watched grow up over the last 35 years, but now with a clearer perspective. The UK is my home and a place that I love. That will never change. I've grown up feeling supported from so many of you, and I watched as you welcomed Meghan with open arms, as you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life. Finally, the second son of Diana got hitched. Hooray. I also know that you've come to know me well enough over all these years to trust that the woman I chose as my wife upholds the same values as I do. And she does. And she's the same woman I fell in love with. We both do everything we can to fly the flag and carry out our roles for this country with pride. Once Meghan and I were married, we were excited, we were hopeful, and we were here to serve. For those reasons, it brings me great sadness that it has come to this. The decision that I have made for my wife and I to step back is not one I made lightly. It was so many months of talks after so many years of challenges. And I know I haven't always gotten it right, but as far as this goes, there really was no other option. What I want to make clear is we're not walking away, and we certainly aren't walking away from you. Our hope was to continue serving the Queen, the Commonwealth, and my military associations, but without public funding. Unfortunately, that wasn't possible. I've accepted this, knowing that it doesn't change who I am or how committed I am. But I hope that helps you understand what it had come to, that I would step my family back from all I have ever known, to take a step forward into what I hope can be a more peaceful life. I was born into this life, and it is a great honour to serve my country and the Queen. When I lost my mum 23 years ago, you took me under your wing. You looked out for me for so long, but the media is a powerful force. And my hope is one day our collective support for each other can be more powerful, because this is so much bigger than just us. It has been our privilege to serve you, and we will continue to lead a life of service. So in that respect, nothing changes. It has also been a privilege to meet so many of you and to feel your excitement for our son Archie, who saw snow for the first time the other day and thought it was bloody brilliant. I will always have the utmost respect for my grandmother, my commander-in-chief, and I'm incredibly grateful to her and the rest of my family for the support they have shown Meghan and I over the last few months. I will continue to be the same man who holds his country dear and dedicates his life to supporting the causes, charities and military communities that are so important to me. Together, you have given me an education about living, and this role has taught me more about what is right and just than I could ever have imagined. We are taking a leap of faith, so thank you for giving me the courage to take this next step. So,
not once in that speech where he said, oh, my brother wrote the paper, he kicked me out, and all of that. It's through his book later on we heard about it.
Began to address Granny about the 5 options. Your Majesty, you've seen the 5 options? Yes, she said. We all had. They'd been emailed to us. 5 different ways of proceeding. Option 1 was continuance of the status quo. Meg and I don't leave. Everyone tries to go back to normal. Option 5 was full severance. No royal role, no working for Granny, and total loss of security. Option 3 was somewhere in between. A compromise, closest to what we'd originally proposed. I told everyone assembled that, above all, I was desperate to keep security. That was what worried me most, my family's physical safety. I wanted to prevent a repeat of history, another untimely death like the one that had rocked this family to its core 23 years earlier, and from which we were still trying to recover. I'd consulted with several palace veterans, people who knew the inner workings of the monarchy and its history, and they all said option 3 was best for all parties. Meg and I living elsewhere part of the year, continuing our work, retaining security, returning to Britain for charities, ceremonies, events. Sensible solution, these palace veterans said, and eminently doable. But the family, of course, pushed me to take option 1. Barring that, they would only accept option 5. We discussed the 5 options for nearly an hour. At last, the bee got up and went round the table, handing out a draft of a statement the palace would soon be releasing, announcing implementation of option 5. Wait, I'm confused. You've already drafted a statement? Before any discussion? Announcing option 5? In other words, the fix was in this whole time? This summit was just for show? No answer.
But the facade that the institution was creating for us to see was that Harry left, and then you have the tabloid, we're calling him traitor, okay, for dare to leave, a grown man for dare to live and set a path for himself. Okay, these were the pictures that they were creating for us to see. But when in fact, they were the one who kicked him out. And this is why they're so upset, because the Oprah interview, literally, Harry and Meghan, I think, yeah, both of them said they were willing to stay despite all the BS we were seeing.
So in conclusion, if you'd had the support, you'd still be there.
Without question.
Yeah.
I'm sad that what's happened has happened, but I know, and I'm comfortable knowing that we did everything that we could to make it work, and we did everything on the exit process the way that it should have been
with
done.
as much respect.
With as much
and,
respect.
Oh my God, we just did everything we could to protect them.
Got it? Let's do better.
Okay, this comment. Never, 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 never. I am grateful that we are not living in the 90s when Charles and Camilla worked with the UK press to undermine Diana. She had no one to defend her until the day she died. We will not allow them to treat Meghan the same way they treated Diana. Exactly. Let me go into that. That's to comment. And the message to the UK royal, media, and the Rangers were global and diverse, will ensure in the world space critical voice, and I expose UK royal and sundry complicity and imperial skullduggery with not my king is a global clarion call, and abolish the archaic UK monarchy is most equitable outcome. All right, so that's that. And then they don't know how to stop. They just don't know how to stop. There are a couple of things I see Harry react to where they would just move on, but they refuse. They keep on going. Okay, this. And yes, the public, especially the British public and taxpayers, should be bloody outraged. Even the media, well, the media is pretty much is under the royal family's purse, so that, forget it. And you're gonna start seeing the same thing too in the US, unfortunately, and a lot of people are tuning off. Okay, even the media, but they all a mess these days with zero integrity. That family and their media friends are truly scum, every single one of them. Okay, not on our watch, and not as long as we have breath in us. We will continue to support and defend her with every fiber of our being. It is the right thing to do, for we are decent and fair-minded people. That's exactly that. And this is why my channel is there. I'm telling you, YouTube try to deter me. I'm like, nope, I'm not going anywhere. The royal family never fully understood that in today's modern world, where misinformation and bad actors can be debunked thanks in part to Meghan's profile before marriage, the old tactic that worked in the 80s, 90s, Diana era, and before just aren't effective. The internet remembers.
Write about my girlfriend with the same techniques that they'd written about previous women marrying into or in relationships with members of my family. And they're coming in almost with a blank slate, and it gives the British press an opportunity to cast them in a particular role. And when Meghan came into the fold, they tried to do that to her as well. But she was coming into a relationship with me in her mid-30s. She had a very public career of which millions of people knew who she was because they'd been following her. But this time, fans and people that knew Meghan were pushing back and saying, that's categorically false. You can't say that based on the fact that we know who she is. It was
I remember when the Oprah interview, something was gonna be happening. I think it was the Oprah interview, and the squad were talking about it and say, oh, we're gonna have receipts. They're getting their receipt ready. Okay, and that is sending the haters and the toxic British media mad. We don't let them hate in peace, and we come with receipt. And the force they were never expecting, we love you, Meghan. Warrior Queen to the rescue. All right, let's go to the next one. I'm just gonna keep on recording. There might be different part. Right now, I'm 38 minutes. I felt like I was there longer.